Okay. Okay. So today is August the 11th, 2025. And so this first one, it'll be, I think what I said last time was provide updates. So this, well, I guess this past week completed a full week of the routine, the morning routine, which now includes doing farmer's walk. So I got two 19-pound dumbbells and just walking around this first floor for 20 minutes. That's the time limit. And I think after I do this next week, then I'll increase it to maybe 20, maybe 21 pounds. But go up incrementally. Um, so did that all last week. That part was good. I have been studying 2 hours a day on the QA courses I got from Udemy. So I got a foundational testing one, and once I'm finished that, I will work on the using ChatGPT to do manual and automation testing. So I've been in a pretty good routine of r- doing something every day for, I'll say, about 2 hours, about 2 hours, some days minimum, but about 2 hours of studying for the job, which is quality assurance, and then incorporating um, getting information for the economy, money, all the stuff, so we can work on how to optimize the money that we continue to grow. And I think, yeah, those were have been my areas where at and I finally am starting to work on getting fresh fresh vegetables, I guess, and putting them in the oven and not do everything that was in the freezer and start to actually do home cooked meals for real. And get it to a point to where I know what I'm doing, but this also allows me to deliberately portion out my meals when I eat, at least when I'm home. When I fly out, then we'll just, those are cheat days. And it depends on how, what the need of the cheating is. So, but being able to fix all of the food and the various ways, make sure it's flavorful and works for me, and allow me to readjust the body composition. So as I am lifting more and building more muscle, fat'll fat'll reduce some, muscle mass will increase. So that's the goal for that. So yeah, making pretty good strides on creating a solid kind of actionable routine that is giving me what I need, which is information, which I wasn't just really taking it. Um, and the more I learn, the more excited I get. And the more excited I get, the more I want to continue learning, continue practicing, and actually getting good. Um, yeah, getting really good at the technical component, and then actually in everything else in life. So that was that. I don't really think I necessarily have a message. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I take it back. I do have. There was something that I did want to speak about. There is something I wanted to speak about, but I don't remember. Oh, yes, yes. It was about instructions. It was about instructions. I heard a thing about instructions. I heard a thing about instructions. A lot of times I'm in a space where I feel as though I am being led and told what to do with what's going on in my life. And I recognize that the more times I follow the instructions from what I'm being told to do, the fewer obstacles I end up having. But the biggest obstacle is listening and just doing my own thing. Because up here, I'm always thinking what kind of the what if, and generally the what if on the not so great side, the side that is easier to understand, the side that's easier to imagine, the side that when you think about it permeates in the depths of your soul because despair is a easier frequency, I guess, because the weight of the lower vibrations, the weight just pulls you down along with gravity, and it takes more strength to stay up. But the more times I follow the instructions, the easier this process becomes. The part that's just not easy when you say it is being uncomfortable and being okay with being uncomfortable. And so the largest part of this journey is really about me mastering being uncomfortable. And I pretty much been running from uncomfortability my whole life. To a degree, I've been running, I don't like confrontation, don't like to be uncomfortable. Not I pretty much have removed myself from everything that I know was going to cause me some type of pain. And the only ways that I've gone through them was to stand on the principle of wherever I was at the time and just muscle through. Sometimes what I was standing on was some bull. Other times there was a there was a real reason behind it. There was a real principle behind it. So, but I guess even in that, I was given an instruction because had a lot of those, had I not gone through them, I would not, would not make me who I am. You can always say, but you could have got there sooner or whatever, but I was still going to have to face some obstacle to get there. So nothing that I've, nothing that I've obtained that was worth telling a story about was received easily. I mean, you can talk about the easy, but that easy don't come often, and that easy also come with some other stuff. So anything that's been worth everything that has been worth anything has had to there's effort all the times, planning, preparations, consistency, and a willingness to not give up, even if you almost drowning by a paddle, but you stay, swimming, floating, fighting, swinging, and eventually got to a place where you didn't have to as much because that fight don't never really necessarily stop. You just supposed to getting swung on so much you can start to maneuver a little better. But as soon as your next mission arrives, you're given another set of instructions. So there's that. In any event, now week one down of updates every week, and I'm going to make sure I remember to do them and not um not give up and continue to be transparent here and continue to give what I need to give here and continue to speak on my experiences as we go through this quest of greatness. So, later.